Hello, I'm in my family room again, hoping to show you a few vintage stitches, but the lighting was so dark and dreary in here. So this is about the fourth or fifth time I've tried filming. I opened some blinds, waited for the sun to come out a little bit stronger. We'll see how this goes. The piece of furniture is a reproduction pie safe that holds supplies. That's right next to my stitching chair in the family room. And on top is a collection of pincushions. A lot of them were gifts, some were purchased. The stack of boxes has thread and buttons and accessories in them. The scissor block holds a pair of patriotic scissors that are embellished with some peyote stitch from a friend. But what I really want to show you is the red, white, and blue needle roll by Sekas & Company, circa 1999. And this was actually a birthday gift from Sue, the designer. We had been in a guild together for many years, and also an offshoot of that was a stitch group where a dozen of us met monthly in each other's homes. And then the next item was originally a card project, and I can't remember if I took the class at a guild meeting or if I taught the class at my shop, because I think I carried these kits. And I wanted it to be a little more permanent, so I had it custom framed. Sorry for the background. So pattern darning, unlike sock darning, is a decorative form of embroidery where you create geometric designs by weaving fiber through fabric. And it's very easy to find online if you just Google the term pattern darning, and you will find lots of free things that you could use. And this is a stack of stitching magazines. And on top is a book called Positive Yarns, written by my friend Heather Gooch. She's a professional journalist, and she had a blog for many years called Positive Yarn, where she wrote musings and advice to shop owners, and she compiled them into a book. And I wanted to show you the dedication that she wrote. To Shelley, love your shop. You're following all the great industry advice. Hi, I wanted to show you a small automatic that came from Heartstring Samplery. The first chart is You Make My Heart Happy. And this was previously a class piece that she's now released to the general public. And she put a lot of her favorite things in there, but it could be personalized to your own taste. You could change the bird to a different animal. You could change the flowers or the house to a different color. Maybe put a different beverage in there instead of a coffee cup. And she included her husband's initials, so she gave you the entire alphabet so you could do the same. And she had stitched her model on 32 Heartland Belfast linen from Picture This Plus using Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works fibers. Oh, and the frame was thrifted and refinished by Beth herself. The second one, so funny, called Whip It Good, as a nod to the song Whip It by the American band Devo, released in 1980. And Beth says on the back, anyone who lived through the 80s would have a hard time not being somewhat familiar with this tune, as it only has to be heard once to be stuck in your head. The lyrics are typical of 1980s rock, with seemingly nonsensical meaning and synthesizer-driven melody. The common theme of the song revolves around the ability to deal with one's problem by whipping it. Fast forward to today, and WIP stands for Work in Progress. She says the inspiration for the overall design was drawn largely from vintage filet lace work, but instead of a typical single motif in the center, she chose a repeating pattern of cross-stitch standards, including flowers, berries, and leaves, with some needlework themed bits worked in here or there. Do you see the scissors and the needle and thread and the hoops? She did hers on 32 Dove linen from Weeks Dye Works with grits, Weeks Dye Works fiber, but you could very easily change it out to your own combination of colors, or even adding some additional color in there instead of doing the monochromatic version. And this had formerly been a charity piece in her Etsy shop for 1 month, I think. And so she's released that now to everybody. Okay, thanks. I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about how a mail order gets processed here using highly unsophisticated methods so that maybe you'll understand my process and be kind and gentle with me if there's ever a mistake or some confusion. First of all, there are many ways for people to contact me about placing an order. The worst is through Instagram messaging. So don't try that. There are many better ways of doing it. But some people comment on an Instagram post. They could comment on a Facebook post. They could use Facebook Messenger, either personally or my shop page, and I do have customers that use both. They can call the shop and leave a message if it's after hours or if I'm busy during the day and can't get to the phone. They can call and actually get me if they're lucky. I'm just kidding. And then I'll write it down right away and ask the proper questions and get all the information. They can also ask me in person, but the worst time to do that is when I'm cutting fabric for you. Because if you think I'm going to remember what you ask me to order by the time I walk a couple feet to the register, you're wrong. My memory is not good, and neither is yours. So we're both going to forget. Then the next thing I need to figure out is this person somebody that I've already done business with? So then they should have an index card on file. And if they don't, I make one out. So it has name, address, their home, work, cell, whatever's the proper number to call them at, their email address, especially if they would like to be added to our newsletter list. But then, do they have a separate email for PayPal? Because that's important to know. Then a lot of customers will leave their credit card number on file. And so I always write that in pencil so it can be changed or updated easily. And the last most important thing for me is whether they have a different name on social media. Sometimes people use partly their name and maybe some stitching terms or something else that they like, their hobby, their dog's name, whatever. Sometimes they've gotten remarried and one of those accounts is still under a maiden name, or divorced and they've gone back to their maiden name. I don't know, but all I know is it's a different name and I have to figure out who I'm talking to. Then I need to write down the information on our special order form, and then I list the item, who makes it, and where I'm getting it from, like a distributor, if I'm not ordering direct from a designer. And then I write down when I order it and make notes over there, like whether something is on back order or whether it's coming on an auto. So if a person buys charts, then a book club card gets filled out for them. And so I usually have these on file for our local customers and for a mail order. So the name's at the top, it gets filed alphabetically, and you buy 15, you get one free. So that's to mark off whether I actually redeemed the free one. Then a person could have a gift certificate on file, or they could have Nashville Cash, which is just a green gift certificate that says Nashville Cash on it, but it's the same basic thing. They've purchased it or someone has purchased it for them. And I don't always remember that they have one on file, so it's good to be reminded of that. The other thing for the book club card is with Nashville Cash, they got double the marks. So I had to do it in red so that I didn't look back later and say, did I give them double the points? So I did it in red so as not to confuse myself. And then while we're waiting for all of your product to arrive, it goes in a bag. There are several different sizes. And I always write the name, and then I put MO, not Missouri, although it could be Missouri, but MO stands for mail order. We've also done some delivery during this pandemic, and of course people will come to the shop and pick it up themselves, on a regular basis, so that's to distinguish which ones I need to mail. Then I list either their phone or email or both, and how and when I contacted them about the order. And back to the merchandise. When I go to write it down in the order book, of course, if I already have it in stock, I don't need to list it. But I might want to list holding some items so that I know that I already have a bag started for them. And sometimes when I'm taking an order, I don't know for sure whether I have fabric in a certain count or whether I ran out of that chart yet because I just showed it on social media. So I need to figure out later whether it's in stock, then I can just cross it off. Whether it's expected soon on a designer automatic. Did I already order this item, this fabric, this thread, and it's on back order? How long has it been on back order? Should I find a substitute for the customer? Or do I need more information? A lot of times customers will say, give me the chart and everything it calls for. Well, sometimes it turns out to be all DMC. So they probably don't want that, so I need to double check that. Or they'll say, give me all the fabric. And one of the charts will call for 40 count linen and the other will call for 28 even weave. That's quite a difference in style and count. So maybe I should double check whether they want that fabric changed to something different. Are they willing to wait for a full order, or do they need some of the merchandise ahead of time? Well, I wouldn't send you a whole bunch of fiber if you didn't have the fabric. And I wouldn't charge you and send the fabric if you don't have the chart yet. So some of those decisions are mine, and some of the decisions are yours if you're ordering merchandise for several different projects. So then I will just send what I have so you can at least get started on something. If you make an addition to your order, sometimes that just delays things. I have to start a new order and it's just easier for me to send what I already have and worry about the other later. I'm doing free shipping, so don't feel bad if I decide to break up the order for my reasons. Then let's see. Oh, the most important thing is I have to cross things off in the special order book once they've come. Yes, I sometimes forget to do that. And then I need to call you and say, did I already send you 6 10-yard skeins of Gentle Art in that color? So I probably forgot something, but as you can see, it's not a very sophisticated method and it probably never will be. So if I seem a little dazed and confused, or I forget something, or if I need to call you or email you to double check something, just be patient with me and be kind and just know that I'm doing the best I can as a one-woman band here. Okay. Hi, I'm standing in front of the Halloween display to show you some Halloween charts that came in. The first few are from Teresa Kogut. This is Fabulous Monsters #2 in the series. Featured are Groovy Gary and Frightened Fred, and she stitched her models on 32 count Murky from Picture This Plus using all DMC fibers. The second one is Snarky Cat, and this is stitched on 40 count straw linen from Weeks Dye Works using a combination of DMC and overdyed fibers. The third one is not Halloween, but it is patriotic and it's still July, so this is part of her new sampler series that she started a few months ago, and everyone is just loving that she's into samplers now. They have all been fabulous. This is Land That I Love, stitched on 35 count tin roof from Weeks Dye Works using a variety of DMC and overdyed threads. All right. And then full disclosure, probably by the time you see this video, these next charts will be sold out, but I've already ordered more. This is from With Thy Needle. So Brenda is starting a new series called Gatherings, and this is autumn. She stitched it on 36 count Heartland Edinburgh linen from Picture This Plus using a variety of fibers. This is Hildeboo and Sunflowers 2, done on 40 count 18th Century Blackbird by R&R. And then the third one is the Witch's Brew, done on 38 count legacy linen in the color Heron Gray, using a variety of fibers. And this is one fabric that we do have in stock in the exact count and color that it calls for. All right, don't be afraid to ask, because like I said, more have been ordered. Today is Saturday, July 25th, and Show and Tell Saturday has collided perfectly with Christmas in July with something that the custom framer brought back for one of our local customers. Marlene Oleniak stitched Noel from Rovaris. I think you can see the whole thing there. The only thing that doesn't really show up, no matter how I hold it, is the beautiful sparkle in the fabric. Maybe you can see it better if I show you just the fabric up close. This is Crystal Valor by Picture This Plus in 32 count Belfast. This is what Marlene stitched it on using one strand of floss. It's available in other counts of linen and Lugana, and of course Ada, and we have 14 in stock right now. There, hopefully you can see the sparkle. And this is what the original looked like. We happen to have some charts in stock. Yay for me. I didn't know it was coming back today. And I love when customers change the fabric or the fiber colors or maybe the finishing technique, because it just gives us more ideas and choices that maybe we wouldn't have thought of on our own. So we also appreciate Marlene loaning us so many of her models throughout the year when she's not using them. Okay.
Is it good? Do you like it? Do you like your ice cream? Ruh-roh. Logan might get it. You better finish it. I can't believe she's letting me get this close. She hates the camera. Lick it clean. You looking for more? Did you like that? That was your first one. That was your first little pupster ice cream, huh? Lick it clean. Yes. Did you drop any? Make sure you got it all. Make sure you got it all.
Okay, you know what time it is now. The random number generator has selected a name to receive the summer sounding Weeks Dye Works colors, and she is Cindy O'Brien. Congrats, Cindy. Her comment was, "My bucket vacay would be to see everything in the UK. I hope to go sometime." So I'll get these out to her. And then this week's giveaway, since we talked about Heartstring Samplery earlier, and we talked about vintage stitching. Here is one from Beth from the year 2011. She had a series going called Let Us Be Truly Thankful that she did for every occasion so that you could switch them in and out of the same frame and be thankful all year long. Her model was done on straw weeks dye work, so I'm going to include that. And all you have to do is say yes please or me please in your comments, and you will be entered for that. Okay, have a great week everyone. Bye.